the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. Happy Saturday. Welcome in, James, from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. Link in description. Good morning.
Hey. Good morning, everyone. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Show my girls some love. Let's get these monetizations and the subscriber count up so we can quit our day jobs.
YouTube's playing with me. I actually did complain to YouTube. I was surprised they did respond in like an email days later. So hopefully everyone can see my videos. If not, I'm sorry. But
right, we try.
We try. We are here to go over episode 17, the finale of the Housewives of Miami, season 7. It was titled Frosty Friendships, which was funny because I need to go to Florida for like New Year's and the holidays when I want to escape the cold, because Marisol was talking about it was hot. And in my head, I'm like, it's hot and it's December. I love that.
She alive.
I would go.
But she alive.
Why?
It was cold as hell. Because remember, my first year of dating old boy, I actually went to Florida for New Year's. We spent New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. We went to Shaquille O'Neal's party. And when I tell you, it was freezing out there and it was foggy. It was so cold. I was like, oh, okay, so it does get cold in Florida. It was beautiful nonetheless, because the day was beautiful. It was like 70 degrees. But that night, it was like at least 40. And I was like, oh, no, and no. But yeah, it was a cool thing.
Either way, I'm looking and I'm like, I don't see no, it didn't even look like a cloud was thinking to be in the sky. But this episode was a little weird at the beginning, you guys. I'm not going to lie. I was a little underwhelmed for this to be a finale. They gave a great season, in my opinion, but I was just like, okay, I kind of expected more. So I'm going to just ping pong, because pretty much the first 30 minutes of the episode are spent at Marisol and Alexia's events, which happened on the same day at the same time, and Julia's whack event, which I'll get to later. So we'll start with Marisol, I guess. She had a good event just based on the freebies and things that are available, but I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. I'm tired of events in her backyard. If I want to go to somebody's backyard over and over and over, I'm going to say this, as a normal member of society of the upper middle class, I would like to say we see a lot of backyards, the middle class, upper, lower, regular, the lower class, the impoverished. We see a lot of yards because
we do.
It's a cheap way to have a good time and get together. So I have nothing against it whatsoever. I love me a good backyard something. But Marisol, this just felt like a lot to have in your backyard. And I get it, you want to use your house, but girl.
It's a beautiful home, but at the end of the day,
we had the dinner where she didn't eat in her house. Then we had another event earlier.
I forgot about that.
In the season. I'm like, she hopped on a motorcycle from her yard to go get married officially. I'm like, how many events, Marisol, are you gonna have in your yard? Somebody send me Marisol's bank statement. I want to see something. I'm curious. Not the credit card statement, because them don't count. Them don't count. If we go off credit cards, I'm rich too. Okay? Those don't count. I want to see certified funds, Marisol, because why?
If that's the case, the whole world is broke if we talking about that.
Because then to follow it up, Adriana throws shade at her. It was like, these are all the freebies and stuff that Marisol has not used. And she always throws a party to re-gift things to people. I'm not going to lie, y'all. I low-key believe Adriana. Because Adriana,
I believe it too.
But I feel like they don't like her because she call out the stuff.
I believe that too, because Marisol looked like that type of person. Like Marisol looked like the type of person. Y'all remember when insurance companies used to send fruitcakes every year around Christmas time? Pissing everybody off. She looked like she would gift those. Like, ooh, I don't like Gertie this year, so I'm gonna send her this fruitcake State Farm gave me 5 years ago. Yeah.
Stiff ass fruitcake.
I'm trying to tell you, why did they stop doing that?
People still gift fruitcakes. I actually received one last year. And the job I was at had like a Secret Santa thing. I didn't like those people, which is why I don't work there anymore. I threw it away in front of them. Don't ever give me a fruitcake.
I was literally maybe 7. Like, I have not seen a fruitcake since then. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I think my grandmother was the last person that may have had fruitcake in my presence. And I was like, yeah, I was a kid. Probably not into the double digits.
This generation, when we think of fruitcake, strawberry shortcake, like stuff like that, leave it there. Let's leave it simple.
Right.
But Julia announces that she's going to be doing an event with the agency that she adopted her children from. Okay, so I want to make it clear that while I steep my tea next to me, y'all, I've stopped drinking coffee, so I drink tea. The problem is coffee be easier to drink and faster because you can add creamer. Tea, I just got to wait for the shit not to be hot. But anywho, Julia, this event, like she announced it. Here's the thing. I don't like Julia at all. I feel like this adoption is disingenuous on Julia's part. I feel like this adoption is to appease Martina. And I do believe several things that Adriana said about Julia at the end of this episode to be true about Julia. Because I just don't see the spark with her and Martina. But she announces the event. She's going to be combining classical music with adoption somehow. I was honestly a little bit confused when she explained it. It just seemed like she put some shit together because she wanted to sing, if I'm being honest, after watching it. If you haven't watched this episode yet, there will be spoilers. So yeah, just letting people know. But because I'm looking like, what was the point of this? And yes, classical music can be found to be healing. It can. It also has been found to improve the intellect of people. It helps you when you study, things of that nature. My husband's in college right now. He puts on classical music. He's a rapper, but he puts on classical music because it helps him focus. So there are benefits to it. However, to say that classical music is helping them heal from their trauma when you're not a licensed professional is ignorant and dangerous. To say that classical music is healing children that are too young to be diagnosed with many things within the DSM-5 at their age is unrealistic. I feel like she's using these kids and anything related to them or anything that she likes to relate it to them so that she can have a storyline. It's like she focused so hard on trying to look good that we know that you're not. Now, I like that you're trying to raise awareness to adoption agencies and things like that. I would rather you guys have done something where you put money together for families that would love to adopt but cannot afford it because it's extremely expensive. Help people like James, who's interested in adopting.
Yes.
It cannot do it right now because he ain't got $40,000 to $100,000 just on the back burner. And the adoption itself is cheap. It's the legalities that end up
you have to pay for
extremely expensive. Like
retaining an attorney, learning the laws, learning, the state board fees, and learning all of these, different aspects of and that's just for one damn child. And y'all know I want 5 or 6 or 7 of them. So I just feel like, damn, like it's a lot to do it. And it's a lot to do it alone. So it's like one of those situations where I'm like, okay, definitely I need to wait till I get married. And one, I need to agree on the amount of children that me and my husband both want because we don't agree. I want 6 or 7. He just wants 1. So it's just kind of like, what the hell? It's so much to go into it. So yes, I would prefer them to do an event where it helps build resources for people. So that way, it's much easier because they need a financial aid for foster care. They do.
Yeah. Yeah. Julia, don't be scared to show them boys some R&B either. A little Teddy Pendergrass, a little old school.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Hi, DM Rocks. Also, shout out to Kevin Reynolds. I was hollering before this live started. Meanwhile, I love my dog. Oh, Lord. Did you hear about the 4 people who are rumored to be getting fired? I feel like I did, but I smoke a lot of weed, y'all, so it's slipping my mind. Please inform me in the chat because I feel like I saw something on Instagram a couple months ago, like when we were kind of in the middle of the season, saying that potentials to get fired were Marisol and Julia And then I also saw something about Adriana and Gertie being fired, but I don't know if you saw the same thing. Let me know. Maybe James saw something. I don't know.
I saw it too, but here's the thing. When it comes to firing people from Bravo, I tend to wait until I hear another announcement of it. And yes, I did hear it to be those four people. Why those four, I don't know, because I feel like Julia, I'm okay with them letting go. Kiki, I'm okay with them letting go. And Adrian, I'm okay with them letting go. But Gertie, no, I'm not okay with them letting Gertie go because I kind of feel like it seems that that's more personal.
I feel like Gertie being let go is an example of networks like NBC.
Right.
To Jimmy Kimmel, y'all. I encourage everybody to watch it. It airs on YouTube, just in case it's not airing at a network near you. But I feel like they're trying to protect Julia. I just do. Like, I feel like it was one of those, if we fire Julia to keep this bitch quiet, we got to fire anybody she had an issue with for the most part through the season. And Julia snapped on Kiki when they were in Spain, had multiple issues with Adriana. Friendship is over. Friendship with Gertie has ended. So I feel like anybody who was attached or had an issue with Julia is going to go. But, you know, stop protecting this white lady. I'm going to just say it like that. YouTube can shadow ban me. I'm stop protecting this mean-spirited, evil white lady that is thirsty for attention. Network.
By all means necessary, which is so sad.
Just please stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gertie and Adriana discussed Julia, y'all. Adriana's pretty much done with the friendship. I don't think I need to go over the semantics of that conversation. Adriana has been done, shown she's done. That's how I move with people. Once we have words that are, it's not even about what you say all the time. To me, it's like what the meaning behind what you say is. Once you have words that demonstrate that I'm just not that important to you, or the relationship with me is not valuable enough for you to consider my feelings, then there's no point in talking to you. I'm just going to ignore you and do me. So it seems like that's what Adriana's going to do. Did you want to comment on her conversation with Gertie?
No, we can move on because it wasn't much.
It's weird, y'all. The first half of this episode, so I'm doing the best I can. Please bear with me. Alexia is talking with her son at her event. Not Frankie. I never remember the other boy's name.
Me either. I don't.
And I feel so bad about it because
I never remember names, y'all. I am horrible with names, even on my own channel. I'm horrible with kids' names. Like when there's like a kid involved, I'm horrible with the name of the kid because they're not the main cast member. And yes, I should remember the name of the kid, but I never do. Giselle's kids are a prime example. The kids have been every flower, every ocean.
They have
known the man on my channel because I cannot, and they have the easiest names to remember. Because I probably say, actually, to be honest with you, I have a character named Adore in my book. So the fact that I don't remember that is crazy. Grace, I say all the time. And then, of course, Angel.
He trying to act innocent. He be Grace and the little twins, Daffodil and Dandelion. I'm just like, James.
No, I call Grace Benevola.
Oh, Lord.
So, yes.
Oh, more follow-up. Kevin said the names are Gertie, Adriana, and Julia. I personally think it's all a publicity stunt. That's honestly, there's a lot of those going on right now.
Yeah.
From the music world to the Braxton world to all of it. There's a lot of it going on.
Shout out to my channel because I am covering the Braxtons.
Good luck.
Yes, I am going to do, after we go over the reunion looks from Housewives of Miami, we're going to talk a little bit about the Braxtons because I need to get some opinions. So y'all make sure y'all tune into my channel tomorrow morning.
We will be covering, I think the Braxtons is back next week too.
Yeah, they're back next Thursday, I believe. Yeah.
They coming. But Alexia's son points out that Todd is toxic. He doesn't like finding out about his mom's drama in her relationship via page 6. Shout out to page 6. They're pretty accurate, so that's why I say that. But I don't care. Alexia, you could tell by how they made her last and her update last at the season that production has favorited her. She's the Kyle Richards of this franchise, but I don't really care. I think her son is intelligent. Good for her, or good for him. Peter, thank you. Thank you, Kevin. But Peter's not a cast member. Frankie's not a cast member. Frankie has TBI and should not be on television, in my personal opinion. I work in clinical case management in hospitals throughout the Bay Area. UCSF is one of the bigger ones that I deal with, and just seeing people who experience TBI, traumatic brain injuries from car accidents or whatever it may be, like it's a very sensitive time for them. It's nice that he's on camera, but I kind of wish you'd give him the respect of privacy. That's just my opinion. So I don't care for Alexia. James, you want to comment on her son commenting on this man? I have to ask you. You're here.
You do have to ask me, but no, I want to get to the good stuff.
Yeah. Alexia, you're boring. And your Todd stuff, boring.
Yes, because at the end of the day, we know you ain't going nowhere. So, yeah, there's no point in talking about that. We know you're not going nowhere. Where is these kids' daddies at? Is he still living?
He's in prison. He's alive.
I don't remember. That's why I don't remember her too much. That's why I don't like. Where's
he was a narco guy. He got caught up with. There's a documentary actually on Netflix and Hulu that she actually participated in, speaking about his story. So he may not be free, or if he is free, you don't mess with them like that. But I don't think Bravo would air a narco boss, honestly. So
why not? They did. I tell them are scammers, so why not?
Bravo is weird.
Now they want to have decency and couth. But Jen Shaw was all up and through Bravo with her. You know, I'm just saying. Now y'all want to have decency
and Teresa's in the center of trouble again. Right. So we'll see. Kevin said not a Marisol fan. Yet why not save money? Adriana simply hates.
Because I used to live in that city, I'm gonna tell you like this. She's not doing it to save money. She's doing it because she probably does not have the money. Allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't feel like her coming to people who do that is because they don't have the money to flex. You know who was a good example of this? Flo from Love and Hip Hop Miami. When she kept having parties at her house, you know, the house that allegedly the sugar daddy bought. Yes. Yes, she was another one that she did her music video at her house, and she did her baby's birthday. I can understand that, but the music video at her house, no, I don't understand that at all. Because to me, if you have all this money, you have this big old house, then you have the money to do all the events. So I don't think for one second she's trying to save the money.
We regular people. My husband says all the time, I will never shoot a video in my house. I don't want niggas in here. I said okay. Because in general, rich or poor, your home should be your sanctuary. So why are you doing that?
I don't feel like having them cameras in my house. When I tell y'all, I would be Letitia from Bell Collector, where I would never film at my house. I would be I understand that now. I didn't understand it when I was saying it then. But as I'm getting older and I'm learning more about privacy, thank you to my partner, because we are definitely becoming some private people.
It's different. Privacy. Letitia didn't have the house, you see. And the house that we thought she had, I feel like that was likely a mom. You know, there's always that family member with good credit that's willing to let the family use some of that credit. That's what Letitia's giving. I don't like that bitch. I don't know how I'm gonna get through Bell Collective being nice.
You're going to have to get through it because I'm doing it.
Canceled before I get there. But Letitia is one of the few reality stars that could get my ass canceled. I'm gonna try. Not interested in those Braxtons. Sorry, not sorry. Enjoy those reviews.
I'm not interested in it either, but I'm going to do it because Mrs. Best put me up to it. And now because they're going to act a fool this season, and I'm actually interested in this drama because I did cover the storyline.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, I'm not interested in them either. I'm about to cuss every single last one of them out, including the legendary. And I don't want to because I love her, but I'm not liking her right now. That oldest.
Yeah, I mean, the song said he wasn't man enough, but right now Tony ain't being woman enough. But we're going to get into it. Dia Rock said, I listened to Anna's podcast, who used to be on Miami Housewives. Yes, in season 1. She said she heard that they reached out to a former Miami housewife to join in for season 8. Wonder if they're going to try and bring Dr. Nicole back.
I hope so.
But if they bring her back, I want Gertie if she comes back. I just do. He's actually out of prison. Oh, he's out of prison. Yeah, I figured he was involved with his kids because the documentary, he did not speak from prison. So that would make, hello, Kevin Reynolds, you a real one. Thank you. I don't be knowing sometimes, y'all. I don't. Plus, that documentary is old. I think it's from like when they were on the hiatus and not on the show. That's when it came out.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. But moving forward, y'all, Julia, nobody cares that you're upset by Adriana. If somebody cares that Julia is upset by Adriana, please comment because your opinion matters. I could give a flying fuck. Julia has a bad habit of doing her friends dirty, not being there for them, and then expecting them to still show up for her. It's almost like she wants a pet, not a friend. Because a friend is not going to be happy with everything you do. They're just not. They're just not, and they don't have to be. But you still can find a way to have fun and navigate it. Like it's not that hard. But I feel like Julia makes things like way harder than they need to be and are messy and doing whatever she can to be relevant. She's just not accountable. She sang a song in opera, and we don't fucking care that you were nervous. Honestly, most of the people watching the show probably aren't going on Spotify and slapping your opera girl. I'm just keeping it real. Like, this is probably not the audience or platform for that. Nothing's wrong with it. It's a beautiful art. But if you had to put together an event just to be able to sing versus being invited to sing at an event, then, you know. So that's my comment there. Yeah. How you feel?
It's scary. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. It was not only was it scary, but it was also like random as hell because I don't put her in like no, like I've been to one opera before. I forgot the name of it was called, but I've been to before, and she just doesn't have the. They have a statuette about them that she does not carry. And I just feel like she's just doing something so she could be out of the box because it hasn't been done. Like opera has not been done on the Housewives franchise yet. So I think she's trying to do something to step outside the box. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't
bad, but
it wasn't bad, but it was just like it was just random because I don't feel like that's something that she's been like. If it's something she's been doing, it's something that she did out of obligation. Like maybe a parent or something like forced her to do it as a kid or something.
Girl, is this adoption final? Because you had this whole fucking event for these boys because you were so moved by your adoption. Why weren't they there? Why weren't other kids there?
That's a good point to bring up because it was like, because my next point was like, so was this event really about your kids or was it about you?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's about Julia. Julia be trying to bullshit and I'm tired of it. Stop using these black kids as a, let me tell you this. Maybe they'll see this one day on YouTube in 20 years. Y'all want a history lesson? My daddy was a Panther. Call me. Because I'm not about to play with these, with Julia and what she's doing. I'm real big on black culture. I'm blackity black, fucking black in every way and direction and crevice and unapologetically. I'm mad. You talking about opera and adoption people, got the social worker there looking confused as hell, but hopeful for free food and drinks. Because I know me, when I'm invited to stuff for clients, I only go if there's something free that I'm gonna get out the shit. I'm not gonna lie. I can't. That doesn't go against HIPAA, but I don't know. Okay, Julia, we're gonna move forward. I'm sick of Julia James. I can't stand her. We move to Stephanie's Shoma event, which is a Christmas party that Adriana is going to be performing for. I don't know. The Shoma event was weird because everybody attended, which was good, but Kiki immediately apologizes to Adriana for the cake. Keep your apology, Kiki. I hope Kiki does not return. I'm sick of her. I don't like bitches like Kiki. I don't like how Kiki moves. She's not a girl's girl. She acts like one. I feel like she's just trying to get whatever connection she can out of this show, personally. That's just how I feel.
I mean, and what's funny is I agree with you on that one, but there's a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way to do it to where it doesn't look so obvious, and you don't have to drag all the other women that you drag down with you to do it. There's an easy way. And you know who actually, we talked about her the last time we were live. Prima Donna is the best example of how you don't drag somebody down, but still promote your stuff. Prima Donna got out the car talking about I'm Prima Donna and I got this, I got this, I got that, I got that, I got this. You can go to my website here. Da, 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 da. Like she was just spitting it out. Kiki could do that same thing and then align yourself. And then if someone get out of line with you, then that's when you go off. But she came out the mud just slinging everybody and trying to just get it. I just don't like her.
I think, and some people may not like what I'm gonna say, but it's true. I think that some people, when they come to this country, that have this, come, work hard, do what they have to do, live their life, just try to have normalcy. Gertie's a good example. And then I think others come to this country and they're just always looking like, how can they keep the wealth? Who can they connect with? And like you said, there's nothing wrong with connections, but it just seems like that's what Kiki's more concerned about. And if she can't make a connection, then she's going to do something to be relevant on the show. Writing somebody's age on a birthday cake, honestly, once you pass 25, I think if you're a woman or a man, don't play with us like that. You could write the age, but to put the math figure down, Kiki knew she was wrong. Adriana did accept her apology. And I'm thinking things are going to be peaceful, but then Marisol and Kiki get together and they tried to confront Adriana together, which was an ambush, which you don't do, about something that had nothing to do with them as it relates to Julia. So basically, they tried to talk to Adriana about Adriana not showing up to Julia's dumbass opera performance. And Adriana got upset with them. She's like, I'm not even going to do this when she didn't even tell me that she was performing and has been a bad friend to me. She said, fuck off, and walked away. And I was like, Adriana, you're not going to come up to me questioning me about my friend, about some shit that has nothing to do with you and does not and did not impact you. Just stirring the pot. What for? I don't understand it.
If Julia didn't confront me about not coming to her party, then you two big head ass ladies don't need to come up here and confront me about it either. Because that's who needs to confront me is her. So what are y'all doing besides being her puppets? And is Julia really mad? Because we haven't heard her say it at this point.
That's actually true.
So yeah, that's where I'm trying to figure out what are y'all doing. And this is why I don't like Kiki. This is the exact reason. Because you find on a lady behalf that wouldn't even give you an ounce of water if you was thirsty. So get out of here with this.
It's the truth. It's the truth. There's just several things with Kiki that, in terms of the Black community, I don't see her like coming back from too easy. I think she pulled a Bazoma in many ways, but we'll get into that.
Ooh, you understand that lady name just
ooh. They tell Julia they tried to talk to Adriana about her issues, and Julia, you're not slick. Every time you've had an issue with somebody, Kiki and Marisol specifically are chiming in. Alexia will state her opinion and leave, but she's not chiming in to the extent that Marisol and Kiki chime in when people have some type of the issue. I just feel like them two are extra, extra, extra messy. Julia, I don't want to talk about Julia no more, James. And I'm looking at my notes and I just see Julia said, Julia did. But Julia seems to think that we're going to believe her when she says that she sent a text message to Adriana after her event, asking her why she didn't show up, wishing she would have came. And then she's like, and she never responded. I'm like, Julia, you're trying to deflect. They just told you that Adriana says that she was not told by you that you would be performing. And she made it clear that she was rehearsing and preparing for something that was important to her. So you're acting upset, and your only argument to this makes no sense. If you texted her after, that could be you just trying to send a text after to be manipulative, like how come you didn't show up? Sending a text after does not prove that you texted her before as well to let her know. So I need Julia to show the text messages, because y'all like to get mad at Gertie for putting the text messages on a goddamn projector screen. But at least she can prove to us that she's not lying. Julia refuses to show us a phone, but is always talking about a text that was sent or received. So I'm kind of looking like When is somebody finna call that out? But I don't expect Marisol or Kiki to do it because they both so thirsty. Did you see the trailer for the reunion? Alexia saying Gertie fault that Julia threw the drink at her. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Then we will read her accordingly.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something. Me and James are from California. It's very diverse in terms of the Hispanic, Latino population.
Mm-hmm.
And as quiet as it's kept, I think our current political climate, a lot of them don't always like this. And a lot of them think that they are like Julia and have that same privilege. And Alexia gives me one that would feel that way. So I am not surprised. Will she be red for filth? Yes. Her and her spider-webbed neck, her same lipstick, perpetrating ass that can't keep him in. Yes, she will be red.
It's absolutely. I saw it and I was like, okay, so I know who I'm getting at this reunion. Absolutely. Yeah. I so far 4 of y'all are on my list and ain't but 7 of you. So yes.
I would love it if I was Gertie, I would have came there with fucking a super soaker. And every bitch that said I deserve to have water put on me would get soaked. Bitch.
I feel like somebody did that.
She's bald-headed and got nothing to lose. She ain't gonna have her she ain't gonna lose her pressing curls, her wig's not gonna come undone, nothing. If I was bald-headed and a bad bitch, I'm coming to the reunion with a super soaker. Oh, you say I deserved it? Did you deserve that?
I'm trying to tell you. I feel like I've seen a reunion where somebody threw some water. It was like a big old bucket of water on somebody. I don't remember who it was, but I remember I laughed so hard. And so you just reminded me that someone did. You know who it was? I know exactly who it was now. Now that I'm picturing the scene. It was Susie from Basketball Wives. It was their very first reunion, and the mistress that Jennifer's husband was with was at the reunion, and she threw that bucket of water on her.
Lord. I heard this as well, DM Rocks. I think it's clear also in the following. Listen, at the end of the day, Lisa's someone that I warmed up to this season because though she's annoying, pretentious, sedity, uppity, when it comes to right and wrong, she, regardless on how people feel, will stand on the side that's right if it's right, and if it's wrong, she'll make it known. So I give her that. But honestly, the toxic energy of this show is Alexia and Marisol. I think that we all knew that because Julia's tried so hard. She's too much of a pick-me to be important. But Marisol and Alexia are definitely toxic on this show. I would prefer, though, to see Marisol fired before Alexia because I feel like if Alexia is alone without Marisol, she won't come off as fiery as she likes to come off. But that's just my opinion. We got a little bit off track. Let me get back to it. Everybody's waiting on Adriana to perform. She was having all sorts of... Adriana was irritated, outside, panicking. She was like, I'm going to come in. They got to shut the fuck up and back up. I'm like, they're rooting for you and cheering. You was 20 minutes late to your set, Adriana. Like, people would love Adriana if she didn't do shit like that. Like, when it came to getting on stage. But she does stupid stuff. But eventually, Adriana performs. She has 4,300 listeners on Spotify, and she loves her dog. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Music isn't for everybody, y'all. It's not. I know we champion, people who feel like they can hold a note under a bucket of water, or that could spit a rap every. I know we all have envisions of that, but sometimes just leave it to karaoke. Like me, I can't sing worth a damn, but when I'm in karaoke, that is my moment to be the singer I always aspired to be. I put a little dance routine together, especially if I know the dance routine to the song, and I do it. I'm telling you. But this is not that. And I don't know. I was embarrassed for her. I really was. And I don't know why.
She loves it. Good for her. But I didn't see the need in a rehearsal aside from the band. I think that when you have a lot of money, you can afford to do things that sometimes you shouldn't do. Examples. Paris Hilton made a song. Kim Kardashian's made a song. Both two people who should have never made a song. So there's that. So after the performance, Adriana goes crazy on Julia. She goes the fuck off. Red Julia for Phil. She says she's done with Julia and she's going to treat Julia the way she's been treating her, like a frenemy, and walked off. And I don't blame her. But at the end of it, I was like, interesting. Adriana was in your face with fingers and all of that, calling you a fake friend, saying she don't want to deal with you, calling you a liar. You didn't feel the need to throw water on her for that. But when Gertie simply said, you are not telling the truth and I have the receipts, you felt the need to throw water on her. Adriana does something way worse, way aggressive to you, and no water comes at her, but you felt the need to throw it on Gertie, and you raising black kids. Girl, bye. What was in Adriana's hair? Because at some point during their like little argument, there was like some sort of white dust or something in her hair. I don't know what the hell happened with that. But if you guys pay attention to the words that Adriana and Julia had, Julia did not deny one thing that Adriana said that Julia has done to her. She didn't deny one thing. She just said, and I've noticed that Julia does this, look at her behavior. Because that's what clear people like to do. When it don't suit them and they look crazy. Oh, nope, I'm not the problem. Look at how she's gone off on everybody. I don't like Adriana. She does do too much and she is annoying. But for the most part, when she go off on people, it's because they done did something to her. So, I don't know. Their argument is weird. I know that they're not going to be friendly, but before we move to the last little discussion of the show, I don't know. How did you feel about Adriana and Julia's
argument? The same way you did. I felt like that was way more interesting, that you had all that space and opportunity to get rowdy and violent with this lady and you chose not to. But when it came to Gertie, you was ready for something like less. That just shows how you really do see people.
Yep.
That just goes to show you your point of view of what you feel is a threat and what you feel is not. Because as you said, Adriana was way more aggressive and was definitely in your face, and you didn't feel the need to throw no water on her. So that goes to show y'all, if there's nothing more proof that we need that this lady is on some, time, this was the incident to prove it.
Mm-hmm. DM Rock says, did you hear about how Julia tried to throw a chair at Marisol last season, but it was cut out? So, Julia, somebody else has a pattern of abusive behavior, not aggressive, abusive behavior. Because why is it that every time that you mad, you got to use weapons and objects and chairs? All I know is as a Black woman, if I get mad and do a little bit of that and my voice get loud, people feel threatened. That's all.
I just want to know, because one day you're going to do that to the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to get you. Because
mm-hmm.
there's only so many times you can do certain things to people and then not come back on you. So I would be careful throwing objects, water, liquids, chairs and furniture, cotton balls or Q-tips, however y'all want to say it. I would be careful throwing those things at people. Because in Miami especially, they ready. And they about it. You just found people that, think highly of themselves, not to get into no ring with you. But it's going to be somebody on this cast if you make it next season, because I don't know if you will. But if you happen to make it next season, be careful what you throw at people, because you never know. One of the new girls may actually jump on the table and get you. I'm just saying, I wouldn't be mad at it. I don't like to impose violence whatsoever, but at the same time,
women like her need to understand something. My husband has a shirt that he used to wear when we used to live in a more conservative and racially aggressive town, and yes, they are here in California. And it said, Dear racism and all visitors, I am not my ancestors.
I love
Sincerely,
that shirt.
these hands. I love that shirt.
I love that shirt, and
I love it.
I, I honestly cannot find it, and I'm gonna go on Amazon next because I try not to buy clothes from
Amazon. That's
Amazon.
where he got it from.
Yeah, I try not to buy clothes from there because I've had several bad experiences. But
Somebody send them shirts to Julia's kids for Christmas so she can understand something. Because Julia, you gonna meet the right one day. You throw some water on a bitch like me, I am not my ancestors. I will crawl across the fucking table like Evelyn Lozada to get to you. And I will make it. Don't do that. Don't like Julia don't understand the craziness of her actions. But y'all, the last little two things we see, Stephanie collabed with Kiki, the Kiki Garage, on a drink for her brand Shoma. All proceeds for the drink are going to go to relief in Haiti to help against what they are going through. I thought that was a nice sentiment. Kiki, what you do before this for them other than bring your family over? Why was Gertie not brought into this as a fellow Haitian cast member on the cast? Like, that's why I don't trust Kiki. I think a lot of the African American community doesn't trust women like her, women like Bazoma, women like 8.5. If I'm Haitian, right? Now I'm not even fully African, is the thing, right? But if I was on a show and someone put a drink in my name to honor my people and my culture, and I have only one other member of color on this show with me, who just so happens to also be Haitian, then I would have uplifted her, said something. I will say this. Kiki does not show up for Gertie or any woman on the cast, but especially Gertie, the way that they show up for her. But I'm happy that Haiti is benefiting.
yeah, it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. It really is. And that's why I said that's been my biggest gripe with her is that you need to align yourself with the only other woman of color who just so happens to be your same ethnicity. That is absolutely insane. And that was my problem with Bozo the Clown over there on Beverly Hills, is you have one other black lady who tried to embrace you, but you was too busy sucking the syrup out the other white lady's clitoris that you couldn't even see her. I hate when they do that. Like, I hate when you already outnumbered. That's why I'm scared for a black lady to go on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. That's why I'm very scared for that. Because
they exist though. There's actually
I can't take that
African American community out there. I don't think Salt Lake City is a show really that should like keep adding anyone. I know people love Salt Lake, but I don't think it'll last.
No, they need no. Here's the thing. No, they need to get rid of some of them, and they need to bring on because I am sure that there is a lot more rich and loony people up there that could fill those seats. I'm sure.
We'll see if they acknowledge it.
And then Bravo, y'all want to do a Real Housewives of Phoenix? I'm on board. And I'm available.
Where are they going to go and what will they do?
Oh, trust me. Where
will they go? We're going to be in Scottsdale and other areas, I feel like, more than Phoenix.
There's plenty of places to go. You have to understand, Phoenix is a melting pot of so many different elements of things. That's why, realistically, we could have baseball wives here again because they were in Scottsdale.
Baseball makes sense. But like baseball anything else, I'm not gonna lie, just like based on the scenery and what's to do there, the women could bring interest. I feel like they could because it is a melting pot.
I'm gonna say there's so many things to do, like there's so many events.
We get beautiful mountains. I don't want to see a desert everywhere they go. I need some different something.
No, you can see. It's not seeing a desert. You can see a landscape. You can see architectural design.
Everything look the same out there.
I'm trying to tell it. Be quiet, Lord Jesus.
Give me a different building or something. Honestly, Salt Lake City would be okay if they honestly just got rid of Heather and Lisa.
Okay, but here's the thing with Salt Lake City. Since you brought that up, I'm tired of seeing that damn church.
What church?
The Mormon temple.
It's Utah. The church
Yeah.
run the state.
So if I had to see that every time I look at that, y'all can look at some desert and hills and mountains. I'm sorry, no, we're not going to do that because I'm sorry. Yeah, we can definitely see it.
Lord. Kevin Riddles, you make a good point. Found that wild too, that Kiki was given a drink, yet nothing mentioned towards Gertie. Selective racism. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And that's also a thing.
That is.
Like, and I've experienced that in real time working like with doctors and clinicians and stuff like that. I come in, they're like, oh, you're Black? You got a degree? Like, they'll ask all these questions and act surprised and stuff. And then they'll say things around other African-American coworkers that may not have the degree, but do good work, that may not speak. I've always been told, oh, you speak like a white girl. And that's why I had to start fighting young. But like, it benefits me in employment, but then I sometimes experience racism against my other Black colleagues by them trying to make comparisons between us. And I hate that. And I always call it out. I always call it out, or at least follow up with a compliment to acknowledge the other African-American person's greatness. But Kiki did not do that. She will never do that. She will not do it. And she will use her culture and what she experienced and what's happening in Haiti as a way to deflect from how she has not actually supported her Haitian sister on the show. Just saying.
Well, as I said, we see this all the time. Like, we see, as I said, I mentioned Bozo. You know, another good example of this is Wendy Osefo and Aneka Ahim from Real Housewives of Potomac. They were from the same tribe and still found a way to isolate each other. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy. I'm also a victim of selective racism. Mrs. Best can tell you. In high school, I was so different. I was nothing like anybody in that school. And somehow I got put on this, oh, you're this, oh, you're that, oh, you do this, oh, you do that. And it was like, to find my realm, to find my tribe in high school was hard for me. And when I got to college, it was even worse. So yeah, I'm definitely a victim of selective racism.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's unfortunate. But Kiki, please stop. Girl, stop. But after the award is given, Kiki decides to bring up more negativity instead of letting Haiti shine and ending the season on a positive note. She brings up Marisol saying the word wretched to Adriana. So Adriana was like, I guess it came out that Marisol was related to the whole wretched statement coming out, which doesn't surprise me because she's always in the background doing something shady. Marisol feels like she saved Adriana's ass by helping her cover up the ratchet comment and turn the word into wretched. Now, they played the scene back. I also went back and watched that scene and with my husband to make sure I was not tripping. We both did agree that watching it, it did sound like Adriana could have said wretched. It did sound like that if you rewatch it back. However, we'll never know, and that's not something I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt on. I'm just not. What I will say is, Marisol, you're not helping yourself by saying that you came up with a word that sounds similar with a similar meaning to take off and away from the fact that this lady made a passive-aggressive microaggression toward Kiki. Like, the more that they make it a thing, the more I feel like it was a microaggression, which for those who may not know what a microaggression is another, I'll call it like a lighter skin. We'll call it the light-skinned version of racism. That's what we'll call it, because that's quite literally basically what it is. So I don't know. I didn't like that. I feel like, Marisol, you exposing yourself, and I hope that they get rid of you for that, because that's not something you should involve yourself in. If you know that it's wrong, then why would you cover it up? That lets me know, Marisol, that you don't stand for nobody brown, and I don't trust you. But I've been not trusted you in that same ponytail, in that same fucking house. So it is what it is. But Adriana explains it as she poured her feelings out to Marisol, which I believe she may have done while upset. And she says that Marisol manipulated it and basically was saying like, oh, well, I came up with the comment, but it wasn't that. Who do I believe? I believe Adriana. All Marisol does is lie. She does stuff in the background. Do I think that Adriana meant wretched or ratchet? I think she meant ratchet. I do. But she speaks 5 different languages. And when that happens, I got to give her the benefit of the doubt. there are some other facts. Her best friend of many, many years is Black. She seems to be surrounded by a lot of people of color. So I don't know. It's ugh, but
Remind me again. I'm drawing a blank. Who was she referring to when
they
she
were
said
talking
that?
about Kiki.
Oh, didn't. Oh, okay, I remember now. I was like, wait a minute. I feel like I was on Adriana's side, and she said it so good.
The thing of it is, Adriana bringing up the racism thing out of nowhere when no one said anything about that lets me
Yeah,
know that she probably did say it in a racially harmful way. So I wish
right.
they would just stop talking about it. Like, y'all are so focused on how it makes you look that you're not focused on how it made the person who was offended by it
I
feel.
think because it's an easy thing to do. It's an easy thing to point out the racism in a sentence that many people say, other than Black, or just a simple word other than Black. I think it's easy to point out, well, you call me ratchet, well, you're racist. I think that's an easy call out when sometimes her behavior, we can parallel that. I feel like if she were really, like, it may have had an undertone of racism. It may have. I don't know. But my thing is this. I would have, if I was her, I would have flipped it and said, no, your behavior and what you do exhibits that, like these kids say today, ratchet, right? So I kind of would have did it in that way. But to me, that's what I said. I don't know. Because I kind of was like, because of who it was, that's why I was kind of like, damn, I'm having a hard time doing the parallel of it being racist versus it being her actual behavior.
Mm, but
So
the problem I have with that is if you're not Black, just don't say shit.
everybody says that the girl don't come to Phoenix. When
It's
I tell
not
you, do
about,
not come to
you're not
Phoenix.
going to give people passes on shit just because everybody says it. And that's something
I
I'll
don't believe that
never
either.
be okay with, especially when it can never be, well, everyone says it, when the general like definition of how it's looked at is a negative derogatory term towards African American. It's kind
No,
of like
I
how we
get what you're
don't want
saying.
other people using the N word with the A versus the ER,
I don't like
even
that
if they
word,
grew
period.
up
But at
around
the
it.
same time, I can't police everybody who says it. Like I
We
can't. That's what
can't,
I'm
but
saying.
we can for the people who are on TV, and we can hold them accountable.
We
And
can,
I
yeah, no,
agree with Kevin that she probably did mean it that way, and I would have gave her grace if this part of the end of his comment was not there. She was way too defensive
that's why
about
I'm saying. I feel like because I would have just. That's why I said I would have exhibited as it's something being a natural thing that people be saying. That's why I said I wouldn't have like got defensive about it because then that makes it look like there was an underlying meaning
But
to
that's
it
the
other
thing. The
than
point
yeah.
is that because she got defensive about it, it
Right.
solidifies that she did mean it that way. So since she did mean it that way, these women should not have continued to talk about it over and over and over. And now it's coming out that Marisol was trying to cover up for it. So I'm looking like Bravo has a serious problem with this cast. You've got a Black woman that's had water thrown at her. You've got another woman of color on there that may not be African American that's making crazy comments. You got another Black woman on the show that is selling out and not standing for the other one. Like, especially in today's political climate, Bravo needs to be extremely fucking careful with like what they allow on this show, because the conversation itself can be triggering for a lot of African American people, or
Oh,
even people
absolutely.
like you say, the comment is used towards everybody, but the comment can be, it can offend and trigger a lot of people in like
I
several
just
ways. So
think people just need to be ultra sensitive, regardless of what you may have said. Because to me, as I told y'all last episode, I would much rather her say ghetto. I'd have much rather her say that than ratchet. That's just me personally. Because to me, it is a slug and it is deeply, and it does sometimes go through one ethnicity of people. But at the end of the day, we can say some white people are ghetto too. Because that's where originally it comes from. So, hey,
yeah, the
like
problem is the history of where words come from. I think with technology, people are more aware of where things stem from, and a lot of the negative terms stem and go back to
always comes
Black
back to the
people.
black. Yeah, always comes back. But my thing is, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to defend Adriana because I'm really not. I don't really care for any of this cast, to be honest with you. But I really don't feel like the person who it was directed to should be given this, ultra victimization because she's not a victim.
Now
She,
that part is true. Kiki
yeah.
should not
So
get ultra, should not be acting like a victim because she's really not. But
right,
if I'm arguing with somebody, I call them old, which can apply to any bitch that's older, and they reply to me with something that can align racially, it didn't match. Like if you gonna
no,
fight
I
with
get, yeah.
people, that's the problem. I think in all of the housewives, though, even outside of race, stop trying to do the tit for tat. My read was bigger, my this was bigger, because sometimes it could turn into some whole other shit that's a
Hmm.
mess. And this was
Right,
a mess.
it was a
Uh,
mess. Yeah.
Kiki, we know why you're on that press girl tour. This did not help you. This was a terrible season. I don't see the purpose of you on this show. I think Kiki is beautiful, but I think you need to keep taking pictures and helping people come to America. If that's what you do, do it off camera. We got updates on the cast. None of the updates were too interesting. Adriana's doing what she do per usual. Gertie is doing well as well. Larsa's dating someone new. Not surprised. She's a pass around. Julia, one of her daughters has met the boys. One of her other daughters has not met the boys. I don't give a fuck. I hope she's gone. I hope this is her last season. Do Julia like y'all did Cynthia. She got her wife. She got her farm. She got her kids. This her happily ever after. Goodbye. Good riddance, please. Lisa and Jody, they're both stupid. I don't care. Who did I miss? Marisol, boring. Please don't come back. And Alexia's update, I guess, was supposed to be a bombshell because they saved it to the end. Her and Todd are divorced. She divorced him. Not surprised. You're sitting on the television show crying and doing all of this. After that live he put out, you had to divorce him because you knew he was going to leave you. And it's not a flex, Alexia, because he tried to leave you first. And I still want to know why. Because I don't believe anything that came out of her mouth this whole season.
The only thing that I can see was two things: either you cheated or you stole some money,
or both,
or both. Like
she do them both.
Yeah,
she gives it.
Yeah, so I'm just like, that's the only thing for me that I feel like would it really entertain this for me is cheating or stealing some money. And it's and let me tell you something. I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't know if she really did that or not. But it's Miami. Let me tell y'all, if y'all knew the things that happen in Miami when it comes to those two things, yeah, it's very possible. It's actually more probable, if anything, because I've seen it. Like,
before we go, in terms of the season, how would you rate this season? Because the season, in my opinion, the first half of the season, Gertie carried. The second half of the season, Adriana carried. Stephanie, you did well for a new booty. You did well, girl. I'm not going to lie. I think some shit will come out about you, and I'm curious to see how you'll handle it. Before a first-time housewife, you did well. But I don't like how toward the end she kind of moved to kind of kiss Marisol and Alexia's ass a little bit without really doing it. But I don't know. This season, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. What would you?
Okay, I was gonna say, what is the grading scale?
Out of 10. Yeah.
Out of 10. So I'm gonna give this season a 4 out of 10.
That's fair.
A 4 out of 10, just because they have brought it in earlier seasons, and I feel like this season was a filler season. I don't feel like any of them really did any wow factoring, regardless of the mean white lady throwing the drink in Gertie's face, or Larsa's obsession with who's still friends with Marcus Jordan, like, as if anyone cares about that. I really don't feel like there was nothing that really stood out to me that made me go, oh my gosh, wow, this was entertaining. Like Salt Lake City had a great last season that we were entertained the entire time. There was not one episode we weren't entertained with. Same thing I could say about, no, I can't. I was going to say New Jersey, but no, I can't. Never mind. But I'm just going to leave Salt Lake City because New Jersey was not entertaining at all. So, you know, I think the Housewives need new producers because
Yeah,
whoever does Salt Lake City needs to do them all.
I disagree. I think you're giving too much credit to that show based on recent scandals in previous seasons. Prior to any of these scandals or Monica, that show almost went off air. And they've had consistent until Salt Lake City gives me something without a scandal, like can prove to us that they can give us a regular season without anybody going to prison, exposing something, getting arrested, losing their business, or being sued. I am not impressed. I'm
So,
entertained, but they get way too much credit when they haven't
okay,
done
here's the
anything.
thing. They started out with the scandal. So we can't, I
And
get
it
what you're
almost
saying.
killed the show.
No, not that scandal. The other scandal. The lady who is the reason why Salt Lake City exists anyway.
And
That
then
was a
she
scandal.
left. And
She
it
left because of
almost
the
killed the
racist because
show.
of the racist lady.
She left, yes. But it
I would have
almost
too,
killed
wouldn't
the
you?
show. I would have left too. However,
Especially if you don't need the
okay.
show, like a lot of them needed the show. She didn't need the show. Like she was rich regardless of the show being there or not.
Mary, even still, I love her, but honey, talk about the lawsuits, the accusations. If your husband doesn't have to film, talk about what's going on with them still, though. Like, there's still a lot not given. She's kind of like Karen Huger. I love Mary, I do, but she's like Karen, where they survive and what they say in their confessionals and they little comments.
I
But
wouldn't give her Karen.
I need more.
I would probably say she gets the Giselle and Kyle Richards treatment. No, I'm just no because I can't say because Karen lied flat out about her shit. Mary has not lied. She just won't go into the information of what we see because we don't know what's real and what's not. With
You won't even
Karen,
comment on it though. You don't even
because
got to go deep. But
because
don't
I
be
don't
on
think it's that
TV.
big. That's why I feel like I don't think it's that big. The fact that she's suing her congregation, I don't feel like that's that big to me
If
because
it's
I've
not
seen
that
that.
big, that's more reason to talk about it.
But
Because
no, I've
she
seen
can't
people
just
sue
keep getting
congregations
by
before though.
on the same stuff. And that's what a lot of the Salt Lake City housewives and the housewives across the board are doing, especially the newer franchises.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to talk about stuff, then don't be on TV. Stop coming on these shows and then going through stuff and not wanting to say anything.
But I'm gonna say this because I feel like the reason why she won't do that is because she doesn't want Bravo to get a cut of her proceeds from whatever that is. You know, and we can thank Bethany Frankel for this, for that skinny martini bullshit. I feel like the reason why they won't go into like business ventures, lawsuits with their companies is because they know that Bravo will intercept and try to get back end on it. That's
Even
why I
if
feel like
it's something they had before they came on Bravo, I thought it was only if it's something that you create on the show or advertise on the show.
No, well, I think now it is, but I think beforehand, that's why we don't know about her mortgage company. That's why we don't know about her restaurants. That's why we don't know about any of that stuff because I feel like Bravo's going to want to cut if you show it on. I think if you show it on the show,
reality TV documentary that spoke about Bravo that aired on Vice and Hulu, they had Bravo stars speaking about that, including Bethany. So, and that was years ago. So they, like for Salt Lake City specifically, her businesses won't get touched. She can talk if she had them before. But Mary, I think in general is private. And I think another piece of it is the Salt Lake City cast is not diverse enough for her to feel safe to speak. They just have to get rid of a lot of them. They've all done the same thing season after season, and each season.
So what do you think Bravo needs to do with the Housewives in order for it to be like Atlanta's first season?
You know, that's a tricky thing because since the first Housewives aired, which was Orange County, then we got New York, then we got DC, then we got Atlanta, all of that. Since they've aired, social media and technologies had a big boom. I feel like it makes it hard to find people who don't know about the show or who can come on the show and be more genuine. We're in the era of trying to show off everything and look like we have to have the best. We're also in a time where you have people like Kelly, is it Farrell, her last name, or RHOA, who come on TV, have watched the show before, like Kelly, Angela. RHOA is another great example because all their new housewives watch the show, and then they come on trying to use stuff that they saw that they had nothing to do against other people, or they come on trying to act a certain way because they think that's what it's going to give, or they come on with rehearsed reads. It's
or
a production.
Or they come on with rehearsed finances and then thinking that,
They
lawsuits popping out of.
The producers need to structure Housewives like you would structure any employer. And that's
before we move on, I have a question for you because I know we got to get to the next slide. So, do you think, especially in Angela and Kelly's situation, because
I done got you going.
No, because I'm trying to, because we need to talk about these. Like, I hate doing Housewives shows as recaps. I do, but
you too.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It's hard. It's hard because it's not entertaining. But when you look at Kelly and Angela, who both were not financially withdrawn until they got on the show, where we saw Angela is in $2 million worth of debt and trying to sell houses on the show that she couldn't sell. And then we have Kelly, who is getting sued by landlords and former employees and stuff. Everything's alleged right now. And like, I feel like the show is hurting them. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why I feel like there's a reason why you keep your businesses quiet, because of this thing, and for them to showcase it on the show and then it backfired. That's why I feel like Mary's doing a justice by not bringing that on the show, because it could spiral negative. That's why I brought it back to Mary on that.
No, that is true. Now that perspective is extremely true.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's the case and you don't need the money,
but maybe you just want to then maybe you just want to be, maybe you just like the fact that it's fun and entertaining and take a free trip. I would go on the Real Housewives for a free trip.
Mary been in the church her whole life, and I'm sure also with her, this is probably like the most like out there thing.
Yes, that's why I don't think she for the money. I think she does it because it's fun for her. She gets to do things outside of the church. She gets to step out of her husband's shadow and actually come into her own. I think that's why she does the show. And I think if we're looking at it from that point, that's what I want a housewife to do. If you're trying to be Camille Grammer and get out of your husband's spotlight because he's the famous person or he's the one with the power, then that's what you do. You go on a housewife show, and then sometimes that lets you see shit that you didn't see before, and then you leave. I'm not saying Mary needs to leave Robert Sr. I'm not saying that, because I think she really is happy with him. I just think that
she don't have to see him. She's left alone, and she can see her little thing on the side when she feels he's sleeping.
You think Mary got a little thing on the side? Absolutely. I think so too.
Absolutely. She's way too cool, calm, and collected to not be getting her back broken somewhere.
Well, maybe Robert Sr. when he get, that's nasty to think about.
Oh, Lord. Did I catch this comment? I'm sorry.
No, you did not. It's okay.
Housewives of Miami should get rid of Marisol. For example, once RHOP chopped Robin, Giselle.
No, she didn't.
Let's give him a.
I don't agree with that comment.
I agree. Here's why. Giselle used Robin to do her dirty work. Without Robin there, she can't be as messy. That's why we're suddenly.
She promoted Ashley.
Huh?
And found a better way to be messy. No, I don't agree with this comment.
Oh, you think
all she did was I honestly, I think Giselle knew Robin was going to get cut.
Of course.
And I feel like she just promoted Ashley to be the new Robin, because now Ashley is doing the mess and reporting back to Giselle the same way Robin did.
But even away from Robin with Ashley, when it came to Giselle and Robin, you looked at them like one. I don't think we quite look at Ashley and Giselle like.
No, we don't, and I will give you that.
And Giselle is also more fair since Robin was gone. We talked about that on your live. We were surprised that she there were many times we were agreeing with her. So she has performed better since Robin left. Now, is she still doing the same shit? Yeah. But in terms of being like a little bit more fair versus just turning on people, like how she turned on Monique when she ran across that table, like, I don't want to be affiliated with savages and this and that, or how she had a problem.
Here's my thing. I think the reason why we see this in Giselle and we think she performed better is because it's against Mia last season. And we don't like Mia. So I think that's why.
A good point.
I think that's why we're looking at it like that. because it is fair. Mia is full of shit, and we knew that from day one. And we didn't care who checked her on it. We wanted it to be checked. And since Giselle was the one who did it, it's kind of like, okay, that's performing better. But to me, no, I don't see it as performing better. I just think she just found an easier way, because I think Ashley is willing to step up more than Robin did, because Robin was good at being boring and just being in the limelight and just laughing and just being like, oh, I'm on Giselle's side no matter what. Where Ashley is going to take a step further and put herself in the mix. So I kind of feel like, I just feel like Giselle just got smarter at facilitating the mess and found a better, sidekick. That's all.
But also, Ashley make it easy for her child.
She do. That's why I said. That's why I don't believe
it's Potomac. To me, please don't hate me for saying this, and I'm sorry, y'all. We are done talking about Miami, so if you want to stay, you can. But anywho. But I don't know. I feel annoyed with Potomac, and I feel like Potomac is dying, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not happy with Kiarna being added to the cast. I like Kiarna, but I'm just not happy with how she's doing on the cast and what we're seeing. Mia and the lie, that should have been cut off like years ago. Karen being able to get away with not keeping it real for seasons and seasons, when it's very clear looking at Karen and Sharice's wigs that these women like to drink too much. Like, it's been clear for years and years that they like to drink. It's been clear.
I think Potomac should have got off the air when Candace left.
You said what?
When Candace left, I think that's when Potomac should have been pulled.
Whenever fans dislike someone as strong as they dislike Candace, it means that one person has too much power in the show and the rest of the cast is not giving. So I agree with that. I think Potomac is dead, but they keep it going.
No, because Candace was an easy target for a lot of those women because of her calling out the very obvious things. And when she left, it made it seem like, okay, well, now that she's not here, we can all try to commiserate and get along better. That's why Wendy pissed me off when she made up with Giselle. She pissed me off with that because I would have never did that. I would have never did that. And also, I agree with Kevin Reynolds' comment, Kiarna is boring. And I hate it because I loved her when she was a friend of the show. I loved her. I love what she stood for. I love that she was ready to fight on cue. I loved all of that about her. But now it seems like now that she's not on the, now she's on the show as a full time, we get to see the parts of her that we don't like, which is the fact that she let that man run all on her and focus it on his business when she could be at her own business, promoting her own shit. So, and I'm excited because with Potomac, it is coming back on my channel. And I know Mrs. Best is going to read Jazzy for filth again, so I cannot wait to see that.
That's all James talk about. I don't be meaning to read people, y'all. I really am, I think, a very nice person with a slick ass mouth that I'm
okay, no, you were in your right to read her because she came at us YouTubers for nothing. She came at a YouTuber and you were mad about that. You were like, like, you're not gonna come at us. Like, we the ones that put the shit out in the media. Like,
how's that new team, girl? I heard your man not on the Chiefs no more. I'm ready. I keep up with sports. I got a husband. So I'm just like, there's a lot that's happened. And I'm not surprised that she came back. Because if you remember, Jazzy said, y'all, last season, Jazzy was like, I'm not returning. And then
I saw you showed her was in that trailer.
Dropped and traded. And now I hear that she's back. Look at
she was in that trailer with a thing or two to say. So I can't wait to see how this turns out. But yeah,
It'll be fun, y'all. I will try to convince James also to do another video just discussing the Housewives and Rhode Island Housewives. I will be covering that next year once it premieres. New Jersey was supposedly on pause. Then it was alleged that they're getting canceled. They are currently test filming. Teresa Giudice is not included in that. I do cover Housewives of New Jersey. James will tell you I'm a huge New Jersey fan. Was super disappointed when we covered it because it was one of the worst seasons
I've ever seen. I'm indifferent with New Jersey just because I don't understand them.
It's hard to understand New Jersey because there's too many people related.
Yes.
What they should have done instead of calling the Housewives of New Jersey for the last few seasons we've had is done like a show around the Gorgas. Let's just keep it a buck. And even earlier on, when the Manzos were there and the Loritas were there, they were related.
Yeah, y'all wanted to have too many family members involved into this. And then, because the only one I like out of all of them is Dolores. That's the only one I like. Other than that, and then I like Dolores for like the reasons of loyalty. I love a friend that's that loyal. I don't care what I do. I don't care if it's good, bad, or indifferent. Dolores is my kind of friend. She just is because she reminds me a lot of Mrs. Best. She does. She does.
We gonna check you in private, but
yeah, we gonna check
you on your side. And
we on your side. It could be the most. I was just watching the Last Supper reunion thing that they had, and when she went off on Teresa, said Teresa, like Louis Gunka, and she said, Dolores, you better not stick up for no Marge in front of me. And she goes, I'm not, even when it comes to my own child. I'm like, well, Dolores, what she do to your child? See, this is what I be talking about. So yes, absolutely.
I like Dolores because at least she lets you know I've known Teresa since childhood and it's gonna stay that way. It's just the way it is till it's backwards. And I respect her for that. But we will have, it looks like me and James will be taking turns with our lives. He didn't have, luckily, while he was healing from his surgery, he didn't have a lot of shows. He just had the Carlos King foolery. You know how we have Tyler Perry trauma? I'm going to call it the Carlos King trauma, CKT.
I want to pull every single last show until he gets it right and bring back the shows we want. I want Family Empire Houston back. Now, unless they're not filming for a reason that is detrimental.
They want to deal with him because I follow them. For some reason, they still have a page and they post to it. They're very active in the community and they do a lot. I feel like that family was smart and said this money ain't worth our bond. Because
I feel like they let out too much family drama. And yet they weren't compensated well for it. I feel like that is.
Grandma was probably like, well, what was the point of this?
Right, because y'all didn't aired out all y'all business and marital problems and family secrets that we shouldn't have.
If I was to do a show with my family, we would probably end up on a Yanla with multiple reports to social workers, APS, CPS, whatever S. Like it's not good.
Same. Iyanla would have to come out of retirement from my family.
I'll never forget.
And even then, they wouldn't listen to her, so it would be no point.
I will never forget. One day, I might do a live like that one day because I got crazy stories. I done seen my grandma come at my granddad with a knife talking about, I put it in your neck. I said, what happened? They were divorced, but she still took care of him when he was literally in hospice with cancer.
When I was a kid, my aunt, she stabbed my uncle in the ass.
My grandmother threw a chair while he was on dialysis in the house. I had to stop her. She probably gonna whoop my ass for saying it to a live, but I was baffled. She
ain't gonna catch it. Ain't nobody watching this live this long.
My dad be showing it to her sometimes. And
no.
Baby, look at Amina. I'll be like, oh Lord, until she see this. Now what the hell your bitch ass was talking? Because she does that code switch. Like
old folks don't want to take business. I was like, I didn't say your name. They don't know which one I'm talking about. I got more than 2 grannies.
Before we go, because we stayed a little late, y'all. Kevin said Jazzy was chopped because of following that man around. Such a bird for the.
I mean, here's the thing. Yes, but at the same time, she did become the man's wife. So at the end of the day, when it comes to getting,
have to wait on him to have a baby with somebody else and figure that out. And
he's not cute enough. Y'all women do not. Y'all look at money too much as being pretty. Versus that man ain't cute at all. Like I'm sorry, I don't know what y'all see. I don't even want to. I don't know what y'all see in these men. I know, but y'all go crazy and do the most outlandish thing.
For free. A couple of years in a row with a man who was on that team, even though he wasn't on the field, but he was on that team.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
I need to pull some more.
He was playing for the Chiefs during the time that they won a couple of Super Bowls. So I feel like that's why she was so proud of it. And that's why she was extra with it when she came on, which they did play very well. But to find out that
football players don't be cute enough for me to want to do all of that for them.
You'd be surprised. We wouldn't have shows like Basketball Wives, Baseball Wives. We wouldn't have shows like that if people didn't see a dollar. Amy Luciani left Love and Hip Hop before she even got 6 months into her relationship with this man. Okay, they see a baller or...
No, she makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. It does. It makes sense to me because she looked,
I'm tired of the internet saying her and Dwayne Wade look like siblings, so y'all...
No, she don't look like Dwayne. She looks like Wesley Snipes back in the day when Wesley would, did 2 off. That's what she looks like.
All right. Thank y'all for watching my live. James. We are late for Deb's house. We are going to head into Deb's house. I appreciate everybody for being
She
here.
can't see it, y'all. That's why she like. I'm gonna put a picture of Noxema Jackson next to Amy Luciani, and y'all cannot tell me that don't look similar.
You want
I'm telling
timeout?
you.
You want timeout?
You know, Wesley Snipes says Noxema was beautiful to me. I'm sorry, it just was. And Amy's beautiful to me. She's not ugly, but it's just she has a very strong face, and I know men who like strong faces. I do.
Listen, y'all, it's Saturday. We're going to be live on James's channel tomorrow. We're going to head into Deb's house right now. Love and light to everybody. We will be back next week to go over the reunion. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.